Newsweek recently cited a study by the Alliance of Democracies Foundation in Latana, showing that in the U.S., only 49% of those asked said the country was a democracy, and some 63% said the government mainly serves the interests of a minority. Do you have any comments?
这一结果充分说明
The findings show that in the eyes of the majority of the American people, the U.S.-style democracy is democracy for the minority. What ties the minority to the government is nothing else but money. Mark Hanna, a U.S. senator, hit the nail on the head over a century ago when he said, quote, "There are two things that are important in politics. The first is money, and I can't remember what the second one is," unquote. Today, the U.S. is spending increasingly larger sums on money-based democracy. The amount of money spent on presidential and congressional campaigns in the 2020 election reached $14 billion, more than doubling that of 2016. American writer Roxane Gay once said that in the U.S., policy is sold to the highest bidder. Obviously, in a game of money-based democracy, it is the politicians and those holding the purse strings who are the true beneficiaries of elections, while the general public is merely the background. The big money the U.S. spends on election campaigns stands in sharp contrast to the country's yawning wealth gap. According to statistics from the Federal Reserve, the wealth of America's top 1% hit $45.9 trillion, more than that of the bottom 90% combined. Between 1990 and 2021, U.S. median wealth only increased by 5.39%, while the combined wealth of U.S. billionaires increased 19-fold. More than 40 million people live in poverty in the U.S. Nearly 20% of all U.S. households say they lost all their savings during the COVID-19 outbreak, and more than 60,000 people had to live on the streets after losing their homes. When people are only allowed to get involved during elections and get brushed aside after casting their ballots, when people are showered with tantalizing promises on the campaign trail and completely lose their voice after the vote, when people are wooed after, before the elections, and ignored afterwards, it is not true democracy. U.S. elections may appear to follow the one person, one vote rule, but in reality, it's more like $1 one vote, one post one vote, one advertisement one vote. No wonder it has been said that the U.S.-style democracy is fake democracy. The U.S. government has become a government owned, run, and enjoyed by 1% of the U.S. population, and will eventually lose the trust of its people.